In every corner of New Zealand, there are adventures waiting to be discovered. Experiences that go far beyond the ordinary, shaped by the wild beauty of nature and the daring spirit of exploration. And we've come to uncover those thrills. To journey into places where adrenaline, wonder, and breathtaking landscapes meet. Welcome to Dynamic Expeditions. Welcome to a brand new adventure journey. Welcome to episode 28. I'm Aditya, and today, I bring you the top 10 adventures you must try in New Zealand. New heights, new thrills, new unforgettable experiences. In our last episode, episode 27, we explored top 10 foods in Italy. If you missed it, the link is in the description, make sure to check it out. So, let's begin episode 28. If you are new here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and enable notifications bell to join us on these epic journeys. Today, we'll explore 10 iconic adventures, each one thrilling, breathtaking, and truly once in a lifetime. If you love travel and discovering a place through its adrenaline-packed experiences, then you are in the right place, because only on Dynamic Expeditions will you experience adventures like these. For the best experience, watch in full screen. Let the mountains, the skies, and the wild heart of New Zealand pull you in. Now let's begin today's adventure journey, episode 28. Today's 10th New Zealand adventure is jet boating on the Shotover River, Queenstown. Deep within the heart of New Zealand's South Island, where canyons cut sharply through mountains and turquoise waters shimmer beneath the sun, lies a river that doesn't just flow, it rolls. This is the Shotover River, and hidden between its rugged walls is one of the world's most electrifying adventures, jet boating. As the engine ignites, the calm of the canyon breaks into a thunderous surge. The boat glides across the surface, slicing through the water with impossible speed. You can almost feel the rocks grazing beneath as the driver swings through turns that come within inches of the cliff face. The Shotover jet doesn't just offer a ride, it delivers pure, heart-pounding adrenaline wrapped inside jaw-dropping scenery. What makes this adventure truly special is where it happens. The Shotover Canyon is a natural fortress, narrow, winding, and fiercely beautiful. Few people are ever allowed to venture this deep into it. In fact, the Shotover jet is the only company permitted to operate within this protected stretch, earning it the global title, the world's most exciting jet boat ride. Fun fact: the Shotover jet is the only jet boat allowed to operate in this canyon. Every twist and drift you see happens in one of the most restricted natural zones of New Zealand, a privilege reserved for this iconic ride. Scroll history. Jet boating itself was born right here in New Zealand. Back in the 1950s, engineer Bill Hamilton wanted a way to navigate rivers that were too shallow for propeller-driven boats. His invention, the jet boat, could skim through water barely ankle-deep, changing adventure travel forever. What began as an engineering experiment turned into a global sensation, inspiring thrill-seekers around the world. And to this day, every boat racing through Shotover Canyon carries that same spirit of Kiwi innovation and courage. As you race through the canyon at nearly 80 kilometers an hour, the driver suddenly raises his hand, a signal you'll only learn to fear and love: the 360-degree spin. In an instant, the world becomes a blur of sky, rock, and spray. The boat whirls full circle, throwing a wave that glitters in the sunlight. For that brief second, time freezes, and you realize why travelers from across the world call this one of New Zealand's most unforgettable experiences. This is not just about the thrill, it's about feeling alive. Queenstown, often called the adventure capital of the world, is filled with ways to chase adrenaline, bungee jumps, skydives, mountain biking trails, but jet boating on the Shotover River stands apart. It's fast, wild, and impossibly scenic all at once. Locals say the river has two moods, calm and chaos, and when you're on that boat, you experience both in perfect rhythm. The stillness of the canyon lures you in before the next turn snatches your breath away. Electric light bulb pro tip. Choose the front left seat. You'll get the best splashes, the strongest rush, and the closest views of those razor-sharp canyon walls. And remember, when the driver raises his hand, brace yourself. That's the signal for a 360-degree spin. Sun with small cloud, best time to experience. From October to April, when the water glows turquoise, the cliffs turn golden, and the weather is perfect for high-speed adventure. This is New Zealand's summer, the ideal season for experiencing the Shotover jet in its full cinematic glory. Because here, between speed and silence, between cliffs and currents, you don't just find adventure, you find freedom. Today's 9th New Zealand adventure is bungee jumping from Kawarau Bridge, Queenstown. In the heart of Queenstown, where jagged peaks slice into blue skies and icy rivers shimmer below, one bridge changed the meaning of adventure forever. Suspended above the turquoise Kawarau River, the historic Kawarau Bridge is more than steel and rope, it's the birthplace of commercial bungee jumping. Here, gravity isn't the enemy. It's the invitation. As you step out onto the platform, the world seems to hold its breath. The river glows beneath you, the wind hums through the canyon, and somewhere between fear and freedom, courage begins to whisper, jump. The 43-meter drop from the Kawarau Bridge is a test of trust in the rope, in the physics, and in yourself. With a single breath, you dive headfirst into the unknown, slicing through the cool alpine air. The sound of rushing wind fills your ears as the world turns upside down, and for a moment, time stretches, just you, the river, and pure, electric silence. Then, in one smooth arc, you rebound skyward, weightless, laughing, screaming, alive. You've just done what most people only dream about, and that heartbeat in your chest feels like thunder. This isn't just a thrill. It's a rite of passage, the moment where fear turns into flight. Fun fact. Did you know this was the world's first commercial bungee site? Back in 1988, two Kiwis, Aj Hackett and Henry Van Ast, turned a crazy idea into a global phenomenon. From this very bridge, they launched an entirely new sport, one that would take adventure tourism to dizzying heights, literally. Today, people from over 150 countries have jumped here, each leaving behind one scream that still echoes in the canyon. Clock history. The roots of bungee jumping trace back thousands of miles and hundreds of years to the island of Pentecost in Vanuatu. There, men practiced land diving, leaping from wooden towers with vines tied to their ankles as a ritual of courage and renewal. When Aj Hackett witnessed this ancient ceremony, he was captivated. He returned to New Zealand, studied the physics of elasticity, and started experimenting with rubber cords, even testing them off bridges himself. But the world took notice when, in 1987, Aj Hackett secretly bungee jumped from the Eiffel Tower in Paris. That stunt made headlines across the globe, and within a year, he opened this site on Kawarau Bridge. From that day on, Queenstown became the adventure capital of the world. Electric light bulb pro tip. Want to make your jump legendary? Choose the water touch option. Just as you reach the end of your dive, stretch out your hands, or go bold and dip your head into the icy, glacial waters of the Kawarau River. It's a splash of victory that few forget. And for the ultimate cinematic moment, wear a GoPro chest mount. It captures every second from fear to free fall. Sun with small cloud, best time to experience. The best time to take the leap is between November and March, when New Zealand's summer paints the canyon in golden light. The days are warm, the sky's clear, and the river gleams a surreal blue, perfect for that golden hour photo or slow-motion video. Early morning or late afternoon gives the most dramatic lighting, when the shadows stretch and the world feels still before you fly. As the harness loosens and your feet touch solid ground again, something inside you feels different. You've just done something ancient, primal, and human, faced the void and turned fear into flight. This bridge doesn't just hold cables and cords, it holds stories, shouts, and a million heartbeats of courage. From that first daring jump in 1988 to the countless leaps today, the Kawarau Bridge remains where adventure was born. And every scream that echoes through this canyon reminds us. Sometimes you don't find freedom, you jump into it. Today's 8th New Zealand adventure is glacier hiking on Franz Josef Glacier, New Zealand. Tucked deep in New Zealand's South Island lies one of the most extraordinary landscapes on the planet, the Franz Josef Glacier, a place where a world of ice coexists beside lush green rainforest. Here, snow-capped peaks tower above rivers of frozen blue, and every gust of cold air feels like a whisper from the ice age. The glacier flows down from the southern Alps almost to sea level, making it one of the few places in the world where you can start your morning in a rainforest and, within minutes, be walking on solid ice. Your adventure begins in the small alpine town of Franz Josef village, surrounded by dense temperate forest and echoing with the distant crack of shifting ice. From here, hikers gear up with crampons, helmets, and thermal gear before taking a short helicopter flight that soars above the valley. As the chopper hovers over the glacier, you see rivers of fractured white and turquoise ice stretching endlessly below. Landing on the glacier feels like stepping onto another planet. Guides carve safe paths through narrow crevasses and sparkling blue tunnels, each sculpted naturally by centuries of melting and refreezing. The air is crisp and eerily silent, only the sound of your boots crunching on the ice breaks the stillness. You might crawl through glowing ice caves where sunlight filters through, painting the walls in shades of aqua and sapphire. As you climb higher, you'll witness surreal contrasts, waterfalls flowing from the melting ice, moss-covered cliffs, and deep cracks revealing layers of ancient frozen history. The guides often pause to explain how the glacier is constantly moving, advancing or retreating depending on climate shifts. Every day, the surface changes, making each hike unique. Fun fact: Franz Josef moves up to 10 times faster than most glaciers on Earth. This speed causes dramatic crevasses and ice falls to appear almost overnight, a dream for photographers and scientists alike. Clock history: the glacier was named in 1865 by the German explorer Julius von Haast after the Austrian Emperor Franz Joseph I. Mori legends, however, tell a more poetic story. They call it Karoimta o hain huktere, meaning the tears of the avalanche girl. According to the tale, Hain Huktere's lover fell to his death while climbing the mountains, and her endless tears froze into the glacier. This blend of legend and geology gives Franz Josef a soul that feels both sacred and alive. Over the years, the glacier has become a key site for climate research. Scientists measure its rapid shifts to track global temperature changes, making every crack in the ice a clue to Earth's environmental story. Electric light bulb pro tips: Book a heli hike early morning. It's the best time for calm weather, clearer skies, and soft golden light on the ice. Layer your clothing. Weather can swing from freezing winds to warm sunlight within minutes. Waterproof gloves and camera gear are a must if you want to capture the textures and refractions of the ice tunnels. Fitness level, moderate, but even beginners can join guided tours, as safety gear and step-cutting guides make the journey smooth. Sun with small cloud, best time to visit. The ideal season is November to April, when the glacier is most stable for hiking and the skies open up for scenic helicopter rides. During winter, May to September, conditions are colder but visibility can be crystal clear, perfect for photography. Today's 7th New Zealand adventure is hiking the Tongariro Alpine crossing, New Zealand. High above New Zealand's North Island, there's a trail that seems to belong to another world where volcanic craters smoke, emerald lakes shimmer, and the ground itself still breathes. This is the Tongariro Alpine crossing, a 19-kilometer trek across an active volcanic landscape that combines danger, beauty, and history in every step. The path winds through marsh-red ridges and glacial valleys. Steam hisses from vents, the scent of sulfur drifts through the air, and ahead, Mount Ngauruhoe rises, famous to movie fans as Mount Doom from The Lord of the Rings. It's a place where science, legend, and cinema meet. Fun facts: Tongariro National Park holds dual UNESCO World Heritage status, one for its breathtaking geology and another for its sacred Mori heritage. The emerald lakes get their brilliant color from minerals carried up by volcanic gases. The hue shifts with light, turning from jade to turquoise by midday. Mount Ngauruhoe last erupted in 1975, reminding everyone that this trail crosses a living volcano. On clear days, hikers can see Mount Taranaki, nearly 140 kilometers away, a rare sight that feels almost mythical. Scroll history. The park was created in 1887 when Mori chief Te Heuhut Kino IV gifted the sacred peaks Tongariro, Ngauruhoe, and Ruapehu to the people of New Zealand. This act preserved both their spiritual and natural heritage forever, making it New Zealand's first national park and one of the earliest in the world. Centuries before that, Mori tribes crossed these ridges to offer prayers and gifts to the mountain gods. Each peak held a story of fire, love, and protection, and the crossing symbolized the relationship between humans and the divine power of nature. Even today, hikers are encouraged to walk with respect, never eat near the sacred lakes, never shout on the summits, honor the silence of the mountains. Electric light bulb pro tips. Start before sunrise. The early light turns the red crater gold, and you'll enjoy the first few hours in solitude before crowds arrive. Check the weather. Alpine storms can roll in within minutes. The trail can shift from sunshine to whiteout. Carry 3 liters of water, sunscreen, and layers. Temperatures swing from 5 degrees Celsius to 25 degrees Celsius in a single trek. If you want the ultimate view, hike from the Taupō end. The route builds up to the Red Crater and Emerald Lakes like a cinematic reveal. And never underestimate this hike. It's a day trip, but it feels like crossing an entire planet. Sun with small cloud, best time to experience. The perfect season is December to March, when the trail is snow-free, the skies clearer, and the daylight long enough to finish comfortably. During these months, the lakes glow brightest, the winds soften, and the mountains reveal their full palette of colors: reds, blues, greens, and ash gray. Avoid winter unless you are with a guide. Heavy snow and ice can make the crossing treacherous. Early summer and late autumn are best for photographers. The lighting is softer, the mist more dramatic, and the crowds lighter. As you descend into the forest at the end of the trek, the smell of earth replaces sulfur and birdsong greets you once again. The adrenaline fades, but a strange calm remains, the feeling of walking through fire and finding peace on the other side. Because Tongariro isn't just a hike. It's a meeting between man and mountain, between legend and life. A journey through the heart of an ancient world still alive beneath our feet. This is the Tongariro Alpine Crossing. Today's sixth New Zealand adventure is surfing at Raglan Beach. On the rugged west coast of New Zealand's North Island lies a town that seems to move to the rhythm of the waves. A place where surfboards lean outside every cafe, salt lingers in the air, and sunsets paint the ocean gold. This is Raglan, the beating heart of New Zealand's surf culture. Here, the ocean speaks. Every swell, every break, every curl tells a story of freedom, patience, and the eternal dance between sea and sky. At the center of it all is Manu Bay, home to one of the world's longest left-hand surf breaks, a wave so perfect, it can carry a skilled surfer for nearly 2 kilometers if the ocean allows. As dawn breaks, you'll see silhouettes walking toward the water, boards under arms, eyes on the horizon. Locals call it the morning ritual, when the first waves shimmer silver, and the ocean feels alive with quiet energy. The surf builds gently at first, then rolls and folds like silk, until suddenly it opens, smooth, fast, and endless. To ride a wave here is to feel time stretch. For a few seconds, nothing else exists. Fun facts. Raglan's waves gained international fame after starring in the 1966 cult classic, The Endless Summer. Since then, it's become a pilgrimage spot for surfers from every corner of the world. The beach's unique left-hand point break is shaped by volcanic rock formations, giving the waves their perfect, predictable rhythm, a natural wonder sculpted over thousands of years. Raglan's coast is more than surf, it's also an eco-conscious hub. Locals use solar-powered cafes, recycled surfboards, and zero-waste shops, keeping the town true to its laid-back, green roots. And interestingly, the name Raglan honors Lord Raglan, a British officer from the Crimean War, but here, it's the sea that holds all the authority. Scroll history. Surfing in Raglan began in the 1950s when New Zealand's first wave riders discovered the magic of Manu Bay. At that time, roads were rough, boards were heavy, and wetsuits barely existed, yet the waves were irresistible. By the 1960s, after The Endless Summer showed Raglan's perfect breaks to the world, the town transformed from a quiet fishing village into a symbol of surf freedom. It became a cultural movement, a place where artists, travelers, and ocean lovers gathered, drawn not just by the sport, but by the lifestyle it represented. The spirit of those early surfers still lingers here. Every local story carries their legacy of adventure, respect for nature, and the belief that life flows best when you follow the tides. Electric light bulb pro tips. Arrive before sunrise, the early hours bring the cleanest waves and the fewest crowds. The soft golden light and mist over the ocean make it the perfect time for photos or just quiet reflection before the rush begins. If you are new to surfing, start at Ngarunui Beach nearby. Its gentler swells and long sandy shore are ideal for beginners, while Manu Bay is best left to those who have mastered balance and timing. Always bring a wetsuit. The water here stays cold even in summer, and sessions can last longer when you are warm. After your surf, explore the town. Try a smoothie ball at a beachfront cafe, visit the local art studios, or just relax on the rocks as the waves roll in endlessly. And if you are lucky, You might catch the local surf competitions, where pros glide effortlessly across waves that seem to go on forever. Sun with small cloud, best time to experience. The golden months for Raglan surfing are March to May. During this time, the swells are consistent, the winds are mild, and the sunsets turn the sky into shades of umber and violet. Winter, June to August, brings stronger waves for experts, but colder winds and rougher seas. Summer, December to February, is lively, with more travelers and a buzzing surf town atmosphere, ideal if you want the full Raglan vibe. The key is timing. Watch the tide charts, check the wind direction, and be patient. Sometimes you wait for hours for the perfect wave, and when it comes, it's pure magic. Because Raglan isn't just a surf spot. It's a rhythm, a heartbeat, a way of life that flows with the ocean. Every wave teaches balance, every sunrise brings calm, and every ride feels like freedom. Here, you don't just surf, you connect with the sea, the sky, and something timeless that lives between them. This is Surfing at Raglan Beach, where the spirit of New Zealand's adventure rides the wind and whispers through every wave. Today's fifth New Zealand adventure is mountain biking in Rotorua's Redwoods forest. Deep in the heart of New Zealand's North Island, there's a forest where adventure breathes through every trail. The scent of pine, the whisper of wind, and the thunder of tires racing down crimson earth, this is Rotorua's Vakrevriva forest, home to some of the best mountain biking tracks on earth. Imagine pedaling beneath redwood giants, trees over 70 meters tall, planted more than a century ago. Their trunks glow gold in the sun as you weave through narrow paths carved by decades of riders. Every turn brings a new thrill, slick corners, wooden bridges, and steep downhill drops that make your heart race. Fun facts. The redwoods of Rotorua were planted in 1901 as an experiment using Californian seeds. What began as forestry research became one of New Zealand's greatest adventure playgrounds. The forest now has over 150 kilometers of world-class biking trails, each designed with precision to blend adrenaline with natural beauty. Riders from around the world gather here for the annual Crankworks Rotorua Festival, a global showcase of mountain biking talent and creativity. Scroll history. Rotorua's redwood forest was part of an early 1900s government plan to test foreign tree species for timber. When the trees thrived in New Zealand's volcanic soil, the area slowly transformed from an experiment into an iconic outdoor destination. By the 1990s, locals had built the first informal bike tracks. What started as a weekend hobby soon became an internationally recognized biking mecca. Electric light bulb pro tips. Rent a GoPro chest mount, the rush of speed through those trails deserves to be captured. Take the challenge trail if you are intermediate, or the Hautupatu loop for a more scenic ride through towering pines. Always carry bug spray, the mosquitoes here are as persistent as the riders. And don't miss the Redwoods Night Lights ride, when LEDs illuminate the forest paths, turning the trails into a surreal glow ride experience. Sun with small cloud, best time to experience. October to May is prime season. The weather stays dry, the forest lush, and the trails firm under your tires. Early mornings offer soft light and fresh air, perfect for filming or just listening to the forest wake up. In autumn, sunlight filters through red and gold leaves, creating a natural cinematic effect that feels straight out of a travel film. By the time you finish your ride, mud on your legs and pine in the air, you'll realize why Rotorua is called the spirit of adventure. Here, the forest isn't just a destination, it's a living, breathing partner in every ride. Because among the Redwoods, you don't just conquer the trail, you become a part of it. Today's fourth New Zealand adventure is kayaking in Milford Sound. Hidden deep within Fiordland National Park lies a world where mountains rise straight out of the sea and waterfalls tumble from mist-covered cliffs. This is Milford Sound, a place so breathtaking, even silence feels sacred. As you glide your kayak across the dark mirror-like waters, the sound of gripping paddles echoes through towering peaks. Mist curls around the mountains like silver ribbons, while waterfalls crash down beside you, each one a masterpiece painted by rain and time. Every paddle stroke brings a new wonder, a seal basking on a rock, penguins diving into icy depths, and sometimes, dolphins racing playfully alongside your kayak. It's an experience that feels less like a sport and more like a quiet conversation with nature itself. Fun facts: Milford Sound isn't a sound at all, it's actually a fjord carved by ancient glaciers over thousands of years. The cliffs rise nearly 1,200 meters straight from the sea, taller than the Empire State Building. Rainfall here averages over 250 days a year, creating hundreds of temporary waterfalls after every storm. Scroll history. Long before European explorers arrived in 1812, the Maori called this sacred place Piopioti, meaning the place of the singing thrush. Legend says a bird flew here in mourning after the death of the hero Moi, and its spirit still lingers in the echoes of the cliffs today. Electric light bulb pro tips. Start your kayaking trip early morning when the waters are glass calm and reflections are surreal. Wear quick dry layers, the weather here changes faster than you can say fjord. And don't forget your waterproof camera, the mist and sunlight often create rainbows you'll never see again. Sun with small cloud best time to experience. Visit between November and March, summer in New Zealand, when the waterfalls are full and the days are long. If you are lucky enough to come right after a downpour, you'll witness thousands of shimmering streams cascading down every cliff face. By the time you return to shore, salt spray on your skin and silence in your soul, you'll understand why Rudyard Kipling once called Milford Sound the eighth wonder of the world. Because here, in this cathedral of nature, every paddle stroke feels like a prayer. Today's third New Zealand adventure is skydiving over Lake Taupō. High above the heart of the North Island, there's a moment where gravity disappears and only freedom remains. At 15,000 feet, the plane door opens, the wind roars, and suddenly you are falling through clouds toward the shimmering blue of Lake Taupō, New Zealand's largest lake. Below you stretch snow-capped volcanoes, forests, and the endless horizon, a view so vast you can see both coasts of the island on a clear day. When the parachute blooms open, silence takes over. The lake glitters like glass, and the world slows to a peaceful drift, pure magic after pure adrenaline. Fun facts. Lake Taupō is actually a volcanic crater formed by one of Earth's largest eruptions nearly 26,000 years ago. From 15,000 feet, you can see both the Pacific Ocean and the Tasman Sea. Taupō's skydiving culture began in the 1980s and now attracts thrill seekers from over 50 countries each year. Scroll history. Skydiving over Taupō started as a local daredevil sport in the late 20th century. As word spread of its unmatched scenery, it evolved into a global skydiving hub, a symbol of New Zealand's spirit of adventure and fearlessness. Electric light bulb pro tips. Choose the 15,000 feet jump, it gives you a full 60 seconds of free fall. Book a morning slot for the clearest skies and calm winds. Wear snug, light clothing, loose gear flaps like crazy at 200 km/h. Opt for the hand cam or wrist GoPro footage to capture your reaction mid-air. Don't eat too heavy before the jump, your stomach will thank you. Sun with small cloud, best time to experience. December to April, warm, clear skies and calm winds make it ideal for skydiving. Winter jumps offer epic snow-capped views of Mount Ruapehu and Tongariro, but dress warmly, temperatures at altitude drop fast. As your feet touch the ground, heart pounding and mind spinning, you realize you didn't just fall from the sky. You flew through one of the most breathtaking landscapes on Earth. This is Lake Taupō, where adrenaline meets awe. Today's second New Zealand adventure is the Navy's Swing, Queenstown. High above the rugged Navy's Canyon, there's no gentle start, just the countdown. 3, 2, 1, drop. And suddenly, you are plummeting through open air before swinging out across a vast gorge at over 120 kilometers per hour. The world rushes past in a blur of rock, wind, and pure adrenaline. Fun facts. The Navy's Swing is the largest swing in the world, suspended 160 meters above the canyon floor, that's 3 times taller than the Statue of Liberty. It's part of Ujj Hackett's legendary Queenstown adventure lineup, and many visitors say it's even scarier than bungee jumping. Scroll history. Originally designed by Ujj Hackett's team, the same pioneers who introduced commercial bungee to the world, the Navy's Swing opened as a challenge for thrill-seekers who thought bungee was too tame. Since then, it's become a global symbol of New Zealand's fearless adventure culture. Electric light bulb pro tips. Try the tandem swing with a friend, synchronized screaming guarantee. You can even choose different launch styles, forwards, backwards, or upside down for the ultimate rush. And don't forget to smile for the camera, the mid-air photo is epic. Sun with small cloud, best time to experience. Between October and March, when the skies are clear and canyon winds calm. Morning slots give the best lighting for photos, while late afternoon swings offer golden hour magic. By the time you are pulled back up, heart still racing, you'll realize you didn't just swing across a canyon, you crossed the line between fear and freedom. Today's first New Zealand adventure is a helicopter ride over Mount Cook, Aoraki, the cloud piercer. High above New Zealand's South Island lies a world of snow, silence, and sky, the Southern Alps. And at their heart stands Mount Cook, or Aoraki, the highest peak in the country, piercing through clouds like a frozen monument to the heavens. Your journey begins on the valley floor, where the roar of rotor blades cuts through crisp alpine air. As the helicopter rises, the world below transforms, winding rivers shrink into silver threads, glaciers unfold like sheets of glass, and sunlight dances across endless ridges of white. Soon, the great Aoraki appears, 3,724 meters of snow-capped majesty. The pilot circles the summit, revealing the full expanse of the Tasman Glacier sprawling beneath. In that moment, you are not just flying, you are floating above time itself. Fun facts. Mount Cook's Maori name, Aoraki, means cloud piercer, inspired by an ancient legend of brothers turned to stone by the cold winds of the heavens. The mountain's dramatic weather shifts have made it one of the most filmed alpine peaks in the southern hemisphere. Scroll history. Long before Sir Edmund Hillary scaled Everest, he trained on Mount Cook's icy slopes, testing endurance, courage, and the thin air of the high mountains. For Maori, Aoraki is sacred, the eldest son of the Sky Father who watches over the land below. Electric light bulb pro tips. Book your flight during golden hour, sunrise or sunset, when the peaks glow pink and gold. Bring polarized sunglasses to catch the crystal clarity of the eyes, and keep your camera ready. The pilot often performs a slow 360 degrees turn near the summit just for that perfect shot. Sun with small cloud, best time to experience. December to February offers calm winds and clear skies, ideal for scenic flights and glacier landings. Early summer brings the softest light and the richest colors, while winter flights offer a surreal frozen landscape unlike anywhere else on Earth. As the helicopter lifts off the snowfield and drifts toward the horizon, you'll look back once more at Aoraki, gleaming, eternal, and untamed. Because here, above the clouds, adventure truly reaches its highest point. That was the end of episode 28 of Dynamic Expeditions. Had fun exploring these wild adventures? Comment below, which one would you dare to try first? Fire? The most exciting answer gets pinned by me, Aditya. Sparkles. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and enable notifications bell, so you never miss our next journey across the world's most epic adventure spots. And share this video with your fellow explorers, because every adventure is better when shared. Globe showing Europe, Africa. Got a wild travel idea or a secret destination that deserves a spot in our next episode? Drop it in the comments. And if your idea gets the most likes, it might just be featured in the next expedition. Electric light bulb. Until then, keep chasing the unknown. From skydives to glaciers, jungles to mountain peaks. Because we'll be back soon with episode 29. Packed with new adventures, new energy, and new thrills. Because for us, adventure never stops. We'll return with more mysteries, destinations, and unforgettable journeys. So stay tuned and keep watching Dynamic Expeditions. New episodes drop daily at 7:45 p.m. And don't forget to subscribe to become a true part of the Dynamic Expeditions family. Globe with Meridian's Fire.